Tea and Trailers on location. Behind me is Mer de Glace and it's absolutely stunning. And I'd like to introduce the Tea and Trails from me, Sue, and Jamie, to the wonderful Eddie and Gary. Howie, what a brilliant result, 3-0 yesterday, Thwaites. Over to you and enjoy another fantastic episode.
Hello and welcome to the Tea and Trails podcast, and thanks for the intro, Susan. Those mountains look incredible. I'd love to go one year and soak up some of that UTMB vibe. It just looks sensational. How do we manifest it? I know you could get like a media pass. You could go over there and do some media stuff, have like a jolly basically for a week over in Chamonix. But could a media person...
I thought you were going to say, could a mediocre podcast host get a media place? I'll take you around the loop, Gary. I have no wish to go out there for UTMB week as a local.
Just that rush.
I have been to Chamonix many times, and it is much nicer when there's nobody there, and the trails are much nicer when there's nobody there. I have no wish to run UTMB with 3,000 middle-aged men with their poles out.
I don't know.
I read a really interesting post by Sophie Mullins, who's a Scottish runner, but she lives... Oh, I'm sorry, Sophie, listen, but she's a really good competitive runner, but she's a female, and she actually got taken out in the first 100-mile mountain race in the first 10 miles by so many men pushing. One kicked a stone against, really hurt her ankle. One snapped her pole. And she said the difference is that men, and this is, I hadn't really thought of it this way, it's like the physiology of men and women is that, men can go out a lot harder than a woman over 10 miles. And the guy that can run fast for 10 miles, as I always say when I'm running, he can run faster than perhaps even the female winner over 100 miles. He will be further up the field, but he's going to crash and burn with the difference in the fitness level. But then as a woman, you have to then work through guys that have started too fast. The trails are really crowded. You don't get to open up. As a woman, you might be better at the flatter running, the less steep climbs, because you haven't got the power, but it's all so crowded. There's so many people.
Do you think those guys are lying to themselves already? They are rinsing themselves.
That first 10K of UTMB is like a 10K race. You've got to go out hard if you want to get to the front of those trails.
I get that, but then to burn the matches and be doing the death march, and if it's not your first rodeo, you've got no excuse.
So yes, I'd love to go. Let's not joke, Gary. If someone says you can have a UTMB place, we would be there. But there are better races, I think. And also, if you get the chance, anyone that's gone and done the Tour of the Mont Blanc themselves, over 4 or 5 days, it's brilliant. And it's such a nicer experience to do with a cruise, stay at refuges, enjoy the trails.
I love the circus though. I just love all of that.
Would you? Go then next
Well,
year.
I had a friend, I was talking to a friend of the weekend, and he was saying to me about going to London, and he said he once went as a kid and he hadn't been back since until recently. And this guy's over 50. I'm thinking, bloody hell, I remember the first time I went to London and I was just in Disneyland coming out of the tube station, and it was just such a rush. So yeah, I do like that. I love the solitude, but I love the crowd too. Please keep those intros coming. Email them to hello@teaandtrails.com. Kudos, high fives and big hugs to all our patrons and everyone who has joined Patreon over the past week for the price of a cuppa. You help keep the lights hot and the mics on and save big time on all your trail running essentials. Loads of brands offering great discounts over on Patreon. And don't forget, if you would like a snood or a bobble hat, then you need to add your address to Patreon. No address, no goodies. Also, join Patreon for a year and you will receive 10% off your membership. And if you are a legend tier or above member, we will send you a bobble hat too.
Thanks to X Miles Precision Fuel Hydration, Terry Trail Running, Phoenix Site UK and Protein Rebel for sponsoring our show. X Miles is a family-owned independent endurance sports retailer that provides nutritional goods, apparel and accessories to help us athletes perform and recover at their best. X Miles offers a wide range of high-quality products from leading brands, and a team of nutrition experts, cyclists, runners and outdoor enthusiasts can provide expert advice and guidance to help you reach your goals. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or just getting started, started, or just like me, restarting again. I had a reboot. X Miles is the perfect place to find everything you need to succeed. Listeners can get 10% store credit at www.xmiles.co.uk. You need to use the link. You have to go via the link in the show notes or on the Patreon page. And what is great about them is I ordered lots of different things to try, but just one.
You'll send in someone in the warehouse every which way possible.
They won't mind. They'll see it's me. They'll have listened to the podcast and they'll be like, I'm helping Eddie on this journey. Here's a little one, maybe, and a little bit of twinkle of love for you too. That's arriving today. Can't wait to dig into that. Exciting. Very grateful to you, Goku Projects, producing our Teen Trust cap. Gary, I can't find my cap. I can't find my cap.
Times.
Pop over to Goku Projects if you'd like one. Don't forget, Patreons receive 20% off. If you're looking for all the discount codes, head over to Patreon, www.teaandtrails.com, or check out the show notes.
We got a picture from the vet, and Rex he was green, like all these dog body compositions. Good job. Rex can't understand these images because it would really kind of body shame him. But he's gone into he's fine, but he's kind of green orange. So we just need to reduce his portions. But he gets, and I'm not in denial, he gets 0 treats. Maybe like, I don't know, if a bit of cheese or something falls on the floor, he's like all over that. But he is absolutely famished and just smashes his food straight away. He gets a good, even though he's not running so much, he's out over an hour. But yeah, he's just slowly getting that middle-aged spread. Sad times, Rex. Sad times. They give him some tablets before he goes because he gets so stressed out. So they basically knock him out.
Oh, I could do with those.
It's really sad when you see him trying to jump up on the sofa though and he's fumbling around like a drunk. Yeah, sad times.
Oh,
sad
no,
times.
I don't like that. Right, sorry, Dad. You're going to have to listen to Gary today because he's gonna start. It's been all about Eddie. It's far too much about me. We don't need any more Eddie chat. Let's see what's occurring with old Mr. Thwaites down the road.
Well, I'm back on the plan. So I think it's week 2 of the plan. So it's quite nice to get some structure after the Lakeland 100. No dramas for the week. No heavy lifting as far as workouts go. Just easing myself back into it. I sometimes think about, I've enjoyed this period of time where there's been no workouts, no thought about races that are coming up, no anxiety, that sickness that you feel a day or two before a race, maybe like your command performance race, like Lakeland 100 was for me, that anxiety. So I sometimes think about never entering a race again and just running for the sake of it. Do you think if you never had a race to do, you would ever do a workout? I'd run for joy. Running makes me so happy. I definitely would run. Like yesterday, I think it was 3 times 20 minutes with 90 seconds recovery. Steady. It wasn't like really, really hard, but that's still 6. Yeah. It was a big session. Would I ever do something like that if I never had a race coming up?
I would, because it's my joy. It's rinsing myself.
Well, afterwards, yeah, but definitely not before or during.
Yeah, I like a workout. I like a sweat. I'm going to mix it up, haven't you? I wouldn't be so bothered maybe about the stats. And I definitely wouldn't do 3 by 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Would I?
No, you wouldn't.
I think I would like to keep a level of fitness.
Underneath it all, you're a very lazy person.
Oh, terribly lazy. I think it's like all these things, if somebody says, do you want to do a help on a Bob Graham round support or do this or do that? I still would like to keep a level of fitness.
Well, that's it. I always like to know I'm the fittest person in the block. I think it's something to do with survival. I like to think in the Sainsbury's queue, if the zombies came in, I would be able to run away. I'd be able to carry my children and run away.
Steady run on the treadmill. I think that was probably the run that got the most juices flowing. It was like kind of 130 to 140 beats per minute, so nothing too arduous. Some weights. I did lots of mobility, some dog jogs, about 15 miles on Sunday. So with Robbo, and a catch up over a cup, and then I did another lap on my own. It's the first time I've seen him since the Lakeland 100, so lots of chat. I think I bored him for an hour with my Malaga, Tales of Malaga. I made a disgrace of myself with Toby Carvery on Saturday night.
So how does it, I've never been to Toby Carvery, not by choice, just not happened in my life. So how does it work? You pay, you get given a plate. Are we talking like a buffet system?
Yeah, well, there's got somebody there who controls the Yorkshire puddings and the meat, otherwise people would just go berserk.
Oh, rubbish. Evie'd be raging at that. She'd be like,
you can pay...
the tongs. Give me the tongs.
You can pay an extra £2, I think, and get a massive plate. I didn't do
What,
that.
of Yorkshire puddings or just a massive plate?
I think you get more of the meat in the Yorkshire pudding. There's a huge Yorkshire pudding. And if they don't ask you, I didn't even know this was the thing. If they don't ask you if you want a big plate, you can then insist on a big plate for free. Incredible.
This sounds a dream. This sounds a dream for trying to feed teenage boys as well.
Well, yeah, talking about feeding teenage boys. So you could then, once you've done your meat, they portion the meat in the Yorkshire puddings. And then you can get as much veg as you want. And you can keep going back for veg. So there's absolutely no point in getting the huge plate or even filling your plate to the max.
What's the veg choice?
Got roast potatoes, then it's the mac and cheese, cauliflower cheese,
What?
you got cabbage, you got carrots. I know. Well, I tried it. It was incredible. Carrots, parsnips, roast parsnips. Oh my goodness me.
Can we go there? Can it be my birthday treat? Christmas party.
Just a little advert for Toby Carvery. If you sign up, you get 25% off your meals for your first trip.
Let's do it.
Well, did you know there is a Toby Carvery gold card scheme? They basically give you free food. But I did hear that Bob Mortimer, he is a gold card Toby Carvery holder. Danny Dyer has, I didn't even know this was a thing, but he has a platinum card too. So yeah, Eddie.
Is a platinum above a gold?
Well, how much bloody free food do you need? I don't know. And what do you need to do? I don't know. I'm just trying to think, what the hell? I followed Bob Mortimer on social media and I'm not aware of seeing him in Toby Carvery, so I'm not too sure.
Listen, we just mentioned it on the podcast. I think we need to move on.
Well, literally. So this is how the universe works. You know what I'm thinking. This morning, just before we started recording, I've had an email from Toby Carvery saying, we'd love to see you back. We'd love to see you back. He's another 25% off.
This is incredible. We can share it. We can invite guests.
And as I was there, standing in front of the 3 vats of gravy, they had one vegetarian, not too sure what makes the others unique. I thought of gravy superfan Mel Sykes. I can't think of anything that gravy doesn't make better.
Salad. If you've got salad on your plate, you can't put gravy on your plate. Gary, I'm not a huge gravy. I could live without it.
Oh, just even saying
so sorry.
Gravy makes me satisfied.
Just start that moist feeling. Just
gravy. Close your eyes, Eddie. Gravy. Can you do a Nigella gravy? Imagine you've got the M&S advert.
No, people will cut it out and start using it for their personal pleasure. I'm not giving them the joy of that. I'm a condiment girl, but I don't think I'm a gravy girl as such. As long as you can have a squirt of something, I'm happy.
Oh, well, it's a kind of wasted question, but if you did have gravy, what's your plate etiquette? So you've got a pie, some kind of pie. You've got your veg, peas, mashed potato, chips.
Yeah.
What are you doing with the gravy?
Everywhere. All over, Gary. Just rub it all over and then just put it in your mouth.
Would you do like a breakwater? So if you had sausages, would you separate?
No, it all needs to be soaked. You looked so disappointed in me. Did you like it?
Everywhere.
Can we move on? I'm so uncomfortable with where this is going.
Gravy. Gravy. If you're a Cockney, what sounds better? Well, I think it's quite, if I say gravy, I think it's quite satisfying. But if you're
really enjoying yourself saying that, aren't you?
If you go gravy, that's not like, it doesn't have the same kind of gravitas, does it?
You've got a gravitas going on there. Yeah, there's definitely a market for some sort of voice Bisto advert.
Oh, imagine that. That's the big bucks. That is the big bucks, Eddie. You get 30 seconds in a sound booth.
You wait, guys. Next year, Toby Carvery sponsor. I mean, it's actually a really good running podcast sponsor because there's nothing better than a roast on a Sunday after a long run. Oh,
I totally had the wrong trousers on. Do you remember your kids as they were younger?
Yeah, those lovely elasticated bands.
Yeah. Well, sometimes because I do squeeze in the odd children's clothing item, I still do own some clothes with elastic bands inside them. That is what I needed on Sunday, not some skinny jeans. A lot of walk-ins happen at the moment. So I run 51 miles with a total elevation of 7,500 feet. But the overall total for the week was 71 miles. That's Rex in his morning walks and just over 8,000 miles. Yeah, little Rexy, he is loving those walks. There's nobody on the trails, maybe the one bike just to trigger him, but generally it's zero stress. But as we said, there is a nip in the air. I'm not too sure if this is just coincidental or not, but the training that I'm doing at the moment, Garmin is loving it.
Because you've not done anything for ages, so it's so happy that you're back actually doing something.
And I was getting these. Anyone who's been on holiday, this is a total first world problem, but anyone who's been on holiday and downloaded a podcast, they will be reminded of their holiday by the language of the holiday being the adverts that they downloaded on the podcast when they were away on holiday. I've finally made my way through all the Spanish adverts, but I think I must have Do you know what a VPN is?
I do, Gary. Yes, thank you for asking. This little old lady, she does know what a VPN is. She lived abroad for 10 years and was heavily invested in her VPN.
Yeah, sometimes I use the VPN because Esme's wanted to watch some videos from Finland or something like that. But I think my VPN must think I'm in America because all the adverts now are American.
Oh, I kind of enjoy those a little bit. I used to enjoy my French adverts on Spotify just for my French.
We mentioned to Charlotte that I did Jasmine Parkrun on Saturday, and you were a bit judgy on me, Eddie. My slow miles put me under a bus straight away. It was incredible, though.
It's just one of them, a very small amount of joy I have in my life. It was just you biting if I go, oh, really?
I'm not too sure. It's taken. Ray and I went there, could be 2 years ago, and as soon as we left, because it was the Parkrun, then we went to the farmers market and just was incredible local produce. So we're like, oh yeah, we definitely do that again. But yeah, it's taken us 2 years to do it, and I love a BBC on a Saturday morning. Bread buns, cinnamon buns, cake, sandwiches. I had a French dip. Have you ever had a French dip before? You must have had a French dip.
What is a French dip? Is this like what my boys tell me when they watch something and they're like, Mum, say this, do this. And I'm like, no, what am I doing? I don't know.
Well, it's basically a sandwich, but you get a gravy with it and you dip
This has nothing to do with the French. They would, is it like an onion soup? That's the only thing they dip that baguette in.
No, it was a baguette, whatever film
I would call up that farmer and say, have you ever been to France?
Oh, he's done me in. It was like £9 as well.
Oh my God, Gary.
Well, it was the only thing I hadn't heard of, so I thought, I've got to try that.
I like that. Dipping into it. And you were like, I'm so cultured. Can't wait to tell Eddie.
It was a messy sandwich. Yeah, I was like tapping it in my notes on my phone. I checked our listener stats.
Oh, did you give them a call? Give them a call. Just say.
Well, I've got a mission for them. We've got one listener in Jasper, Alberta, one listener in Tadworth, Surrey, and one listener in Chiang Mai. So I'm not too sure if those stats are completely correct. But yeah,
I would say we'd have more than one listener from Surrey.
Yeah, but Tadworth specifically.
Okay, sorry. Tadworth. Hi, Tadworth.
Yeah, hello, Tadworth. And thanks for listening. We do appreciate you. But my mission is, surely, it's not a dirty secret, the Teen Trails podcast. If you're there in Chiang Mai,
a little bit. Sometimes I'm like, please, no one. I hope no one at the school gate listens to this.
Tell a friend. I'm going to check back in a few weeks' time. So if you're in Jasper, Tadworth or Chiang Mai, yeah, spread a little bit of Teen Trails love. It isn't a dirty secret. I'm going to be checking back. How long should I give it? 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah, if they've not done it by then, I think we pay them a visit.
I need 5 listeners in each of those
Shotgun,
locations.
I'm going Jasper, Alberta. You can go Tadworth, Surrey. We'll send Bryn to Chiang Mai.
I was thinking, I'm not too sure if you have an opinion on this, and it does change seasonally. Do you have a least type of trail to run on?
This is my worst nightmare of trail. It's a grassy track in which 4x4 vehicles have gone down. So they've rutted the track. It's then grown over. So it's got all rutted. Then it's gone summer hardness. Then it's grown over with like grass and everything. And I've got both dogs on the lead in front of me. So I can't see my feet. I've got a few of those around here and there's nothing you can do. And also it's probably there's bunnies running up ahead. So we're going at a 7-minute mile pace there. And I'm like, well, I don't know where my foot is going to land it, but somewhere along this, I'm going to go over on my ankle and it's going to hurt real bad. I absolutely hate not being able to see where your feet are going on a trail.
Well, that's similar to me. I've got this. So on the moors, there's quite a lot of single trails where actually sometimes the trails aren't even wide enough for 2 feet.
And then it's grown over. So you just put your foot through going.
And you cannot see where you're going.
Relax. Those butt cheeks fully
That's high stress. Because I look at my watch and I think this is cruisy miles, but it's like 140 beats a minute because my mind is working overtime. Talking about algorithms and Toby Carvery, I think The Guardian's got me sus too. I saw an article about it's an evolution from the hair transplants and the turkey teeth. You can now, this is probably not even new. You can
what is this? What is this terrible thing?
They basically break your legs.
No, Diary, I don't like this at all. No, stop it.
And you grow. They can make you grow. They put some kind of contraption on your legs.
No.
You turn a knob every day, 1 millimeter you get. Up to a maximum, I think it was a maximum of 9 centimeters. So I could be nearly 5'10", 5'9".
You could be 5'2".
Harry, this just what? No.
But the recovery, as much as I'm quite lucky. I'm short. There's no ifs and buts about that. But I never really have a huge hang up.
If anyone ever says anything other, as my little friend goes, I'm going to box you in. I'm going to box you in. Gary, whatever anybody says, however many abusive emails we get, you'll never, ever, I'll never, ever let them break your leg.
I do wish my feet were a little bit bigger, only because it's a right bollock buying shoes.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I've got so much about this growth thing that I would be like worried about, like your tissues and your ligaments and your tendons.
Well, that's what the kids were saying. What happens to
How
your
is
muscles and
this?
your skin?
What happens to 9 centimeters?
But then what do you look like?
Well,
I think
that's
I'm... It's about that. I think I'm proportioned.
You all know what we were doing.
I think I'm proportioned. You know, the ratios are quite good. So
Okay, no one's judging.
if I stuck 9 centimeters on my legs,
Oh,
on my
on
shins,
your
that'd be
legs.
weird.
Yeah, people no.
But the recovery, anyone who's into exercise, if you were like really sedate, you could cope with the recovery, but it's going to be months and months and months and months.
No, I honestly, I don't know where. I don't like the sound of this whole thing. I don't like the thing. What difference is that going to make to your life? Can you imagine? Yeah, how long that recovery would be? You'd be out of action.
Well, sometimes I used to have to get my trousers taken up, so that would save a job. But 50 grand or a few trousers
That would
or a couple
save
of quid
a
down
job.
the seat.
That would save a job.
That's my week.
Oh, you've had a great week. I love all that. We've gone from gravy to growth to gravy. Oh, well, mine, it's really good because you are filled. We do not need to talk about my week. It was fine. It happened. Those horrible post-race weeks, you just got to sit with it, haven't you? Just got to sit with it. Not do too much. Not do too much staring out of the window. I just say thank you very much. I've been flooded with love, Gary, of messages after. I'm sorry for the trauma of the podcast. We knew it was. I haven't listened to it, Gary. I might listen to it.
It was a tough edit. It was a tough edit. I got to admit, yeah.
Did you cry?
No,
I used to be able to make you cry. You're hardened to me now. You just stare back at me like a producer. Tons of lovely messages, which don't ever think that they're not appreciated. Like just a little heart, a little message. Like we've had quite a few emails of people going, I don't normally do this, but honestly, because yes, doing that podcast was, we do it because it's really important that we do it. And lots of people have said it's really important, that message, but it was really hard. It wasn't a good place. But I'm in a much better place now mentally, getting myself back on the horse. This time next week, that's what you have to believe, don't you? You just have been like, you can't rush this process. You just got to let it just flow and just know that every day when you wake up, the distance that you get from your disappointment will just help with the healing, and it will just become less and less important in your like front bit of your brain, I think, and you just move on. So
it's super tempting, those are like to try and course correct, enter a race, do something drastic.
I almost bought a gravel bike. Unfortunately, I've got no money at the moment at the end of the summer holidays after having paid for everything the kids have done. So I'm like, if I did have the money, I'd have bought a new Wahoo treadmill, I'd have bought a new gravel bike, I'd have probably entered a triathlon.
Yeah.
But Bryn cancelled my credit card, so I've not bought anything that's going to turn up in a box. I used to do when I was feeding the kids at like 12, like midnight, 1 a.m. and I used to buy stuff and then I'd be like, oh, I have no idea what's in that box. I got back running, got back jogging. I actually started back running. I think I went for a run on Wednesday or Thursday after the race, mentally just to get out. For 20, 30 minutes with my pals. I just felt really stiff, but I was really aware that I've done some damage to like, not just, I did run 80 miles, but also damage to the tissues and stuff, being that dehydrated. I thought this is quite a dangerous window to start jogging again if things are still in a period of trauma. So I did a few jogs. First couple, I was like, and then actually by the weekend I felt okay, and then now back to this week I'm like back running again. I tried to do a mini workout. That was hilarious. We reframed that and went, we're not ready for a workout yet. And then I was like, we're 10 days post that, of course you're not ready for a workout. No, I think it's all moving, it's all growth. I feel better for feeling a little bit more like an athlete, getting up, doing your run, getting back into your routine. And I've got lots of things I'm trying. Give me 6 weeks, Gary, and let me just be an experiment on myself. I will share everything on the podcast, but at the moment I just need to work it through myself. Some of it might work and some of it won't, and I just need to be really positive in what I'm doing and believe that it will work. I don't want anybody to go, oh, that's a load of, everyone's got opinions, fine, and what might work for one person might not work for another. So I think let's just try on Eddie.
Even if it does work for you, it might not work for somebody else. So it's take it all.
Let's
not with
see,
a pinch
but I
of
am
salt,
doing
but-
lots of things because there's no way that I'm standing back on a really big race start line until I'm and I will never be able to be 100% confident. That's the scary thing. And it might be that I still will suffer from nausea, but it's more that if I can pull myself out of the trenches before the trenches overcome me, basically. Yeah, we're starting some little building blocks, which is great. And yeah, so nothing super important last week of the holidays now. So we're just fighting fires. We're measuring for school uniforms, taking that tape measure out a little bit wider, getting those new trainers. Jeez, these kids, they don't stop growing, do they? But what a grounder kids are as well, that you're just like, they don't care. They just want to be fed mac and cheese, taken to the trampoline park.
Toby Carvery kids coming.
Now you've said it, I'm gonna Google our local one. We're going there Sunday. She's not back yet, but she's ordered the Uber. The driver's around, and she might take the ride next week.
Thanks, Precision Fuel and Hydration, for supporting Brew the Coaches. Their website and newsletter are such a good source of knowledge, articles to read, and YouTube content to binge on too. On YouTube, you can learn how to fuel an ultramarathon, what pro runners carry on race day, and how to nail your marathon prep. It's a brand called Mount Coast, and we're going to review their trail running T1 shoe.
Gaza loves the deets. I love the colour.
So these are going to set you back £170 on the mountaincoast.com website. Now, I've weighed my 6.5. I don't know what size you've got, Eddie. You've got
I've got 6.5 too, yeah.
So they come in at 232 grams for 6.5. Now, to compare that with some other shoes, not necessarily shoes that you would compare against this shoe. So, for example, my Vective 3, the North Face, they are 285 grams.
They're heavy, those ones, though. I find those quite heavy.
Yeah.
Threes, yeah.
Well, I think there's a few things working against that shoe. Ultra Olympus 275, I'm reviewing that shoe. And because I've got small feet, I think the 275 must refer to the weight they are supposed to be. Mine are coming in at 273 grams per shoe. And then the Terex Speed Ultra, they're 248 grams. So they are the lightest out of all of those shoes. There's 4mm drop. Also, you've got 36 millimeters at the heel, and then that will mean 32 millimeters at the forefoot. Mount Coast say this shoe is a moderate stability shoe, somewhere between balanced and plush cushioning. And like I said, yeah, it's a brand new brand to me. And initially I was like, I suppose I wasn't really excited about the review. I think it's fair to say. But then I reflected back, I reframed it, because in our lifetime as runners, Hoka have come onto the scene, Normal really recently have come onto the scene, Ultra and On Again relatively recently have come into the scene. So new doesn't necessarily mean bad. So when I reframed it like that, I thought, yeah, let's see what it's all about. We're going to start at the outsole and then make
I love working with Gary the reviewer. You are such a pro. This is great.
You might agree with this, Eddie. As soon as I see Vibram Mega Grip,
I'm happy. Put me on that slick rock, put me down those Lake District fells, put me on the Pennine Way. I know I'm not going to do that horrible
yeah,
as you slide. Vibram is where it's at. Why doesn't everybody put Vibram on the bottom of their shoes? Is it the expense?
there must be a licensing thing. I'm not too sure why, but maybe they've got a license Vibram, and then that adds cost to it. Some shoe brands do invest in sticky technology like VJ and Envy. And then I think Adidas use Continental. That's pretty good too. But also with the Vibrance backed up with a 4mm lug. And I think the combination on a trail shoe, you've got fell shoes which can have 7-8mm lugs or whatever. Then you've got these racing flats on buffed out trails. But for an all-rounder, I think Vibrant plus a 4mm lug, that is a sweet spot. And for me personally, so far on the trails I've run on, I've not run on kind of muddy, grassy fells, but everything else that I've run on, it's absolutely nailed it so far. So that's Castle Eden Dean. That's steep, up and down, greasy trails.
It's how we used to describe ponies that wouldn't bolt. Is it bulletproof? It's pretty bulletproof with those stats, isn't it? It's a safety. You feel safety shoe. Unfortunately, to me, it slightly looks like a safety shoe as well. It's like something you'd wear on a building site, but we haven't got into that yet.
Yeah, zero issues so far as the trails I've run on. I can't comment on what it's like shooting off Helvellyn on a 45-degree slope. I even took these to Spain. So these were my road to trail. So I used them on loads of tarmac, probably predominantly on tarmac, but I did hit some trails too. And yeah, I can't think of one situation where I thought the outsole let me down. But spoiler, Spain is like 30 odd degrees, zero rain. Take of it what you will. But for comparison, again, my 13 Valley shoes, which are going to be the Ultra Mont Blanc Carbon, and my Lakeland 100 shoes, 3.5 mil lugs. So 4 mil lugs, big thumbs up. Midsole. You got a 4mm drop there. So people who are scared of that zero drop, that will be kind of music to their ears. 36mm at the heel. And yeah, we might have different opinions on the midsole. For me, that was super comfortable, and they use a technology light cell. This is a bit geeky. It's 50% lighter than EVA, and it's got 45% more energy return. So I think that probably is backed up by the weight when you compare to those other shoes that I mentioned earlier. You are getting a bit of a lighter midsole, and I think that's where shoes sometimes lose the battle with weight, because the outsole rubber and then the midsole can be quite heavy too. But yeah, I'm super happy with that squashy 39mm stack. I ran all of the Lakeland 100 with the Adidas Terex Speed Ultras, so they're like a rock and roll shoe. So this felt quite safe in comparison.
Yeah, it feels safe, but it still feels comfortable. Sometimes when you get those lower mills, you feel like your foot is actually on the ground, and you can start feeling a bit of calf and Achilles issues as well. But they've got that little bit more stability around the heel, which again, sometimes you lose on those higher stack shoes. I found them really comfortable. I didn't know that it was 4mm. If you'd asked me, I would have said 6, maybe 7. If you're a little bit nervous about, I'm an 8, or a 6, I would say to try them on, because there are good things about it, I think, that outweigh the fact that is a low heel drop as well.
And this is, I suppose, where you've also got to be mindful with any product review. We've talked off air that literally I think I can put my foot in anything unless it's really, really narrow.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky like that, which you are a bit more selective.
Well, everyone just has really different feet, don't they? And I cannot run in a ultra. I would just be ruined. You could slip on some ultras and go and run 100 miles as well. We felt it was important that I know people like hearing about stuff, and there's so much option, isn't there, out on the market? Where do you make the decisions?
If you rewind to 5 years, apart from Hawker, 30 odd mil, 40 mil nearly of stack, that might have been unheard of. And it didn't feel for me overly unstable. But again, the trails that I've been running on haven't put it to the test. So you move on to the upper.
This is the tricky one for me. And this is why I'm really excited about this brand, and I'm excited about the shoe. But this is what I would like to see this shoe in 6 months' time, someone having worn it into the ground. What were your thoughts on the... When I showed them to Bryn, he was like, that's too much for me. I can't do that.
Well, yeah, initially, I suppose the thing that we're talking about, they've got this unique lacing system where you can tighten it from the top and tighten it from the bottom, and you can stuff it both the ways, so it's not like flapping around and being annoying. It's been fine for me. I have used that extra cinch at the bottom just once to set it up. I've seen a few reviews online, or a few comments online where the system's failed. And wow, when you sell shoes to thousands of people, then it's inevitable something's going to fail. It's very similar to a Solomon, isn't it? Back in the day, that Speed Cross, you'd have that kind of draw system. If that is not for you, they do ship them with a replacement set of laces. So
that disappoints me a little bit, because I kind of think if you've got a unique selling point, go with it. And all in, why have you put, you must have had feedback from athletes that they want to have a looser point of contact around the top of their foot to what they want around their ankles. So if you've invested in that technology in your shoe, do it. And that is what people might buy into. If you're providing the lace, you go, we're not sure you're going to like this.
Yeah, but I'll take you back to Robbo, All County Tops, when his Solomon lace system exploded.
That's why I don't like that lace system, because I'm like, what do you do if that very easily, you see the degradation when you do 100 miles, your trainers pretty much look like... I've been through a pair of trainers on a 200 plus mile race. So I do worry about a complicated lacing system.
Well, I do carry, since Robbo's infamous moment,
always a lace or a bit of
I
tape.
do carry it. Yeah, I do take some tape with me. So for me, I'm enjoying it. Again, you review these products, you have them for a month. That's not really a reflection of how durable they are over time. Comfort and everything around the upper. Again, my super forgiving feet, no issues whatsoever. I didn't experience any heel slippage at all. Like the little run that I did in Malaga up to the fort, that was quite steep, very short, but quite steep. Yeah, zero problems whatsoever on that. Nice and locked in. I think the probably longest run I've done could be 7 miles. Must have been like 36 degree heat. So again, from an overheating point of view on the upper, I didn't experience that. Because I do these reviews in the UK, and I always mention about overheating, but well, we're probably lucky if we get 20 degrees in the UK. So they'd be quite comfortable on my foot in 30 odd degrees plus. Yeah, pleasantly.
There's definitely
surprised.
room for a bit of foot expansion, isn't there, within the front end of the shoe? It's not, if you were worried about a narrow toe box of shoes, which I know a lot of that's the Salomon critique, is that they're too narrow. These are a much wider option, and it feels like the upper as well it's really flexible, which makes me slightly nervous about running on a super technical train, is that there's not enough support in the upper and the foot is moving a little bit too much. So I'd be interested as well to see if we ran them into the ground for 6 months, whether that upper would then degrade because the foot is moving quite a lot in it. But the upper, I do like a flexible upper as well. There doesn't seem to be any sticking points, which are often a critique of other brands, isn't there? That where the foot bends, then your little toe, often there's the hole there. But these look pretty strong, and also that there is that element of foot movement. Whether there's too much foot movement, I'm not sure yet.
A downside for me, I always love a shoe with a full gusset. So just in case any debris creeps in that tongue, it's got a little stability so the tongue doesn't kind of rock around left and right, but it's not full gusset. It's always something I moan about when I do a review. I've never had to stop and take rocks out of my shoe, so maybe I'm moaning about something that doesn't need moaning about. There's enough protection around the toe box.
Yeah, I like the toe box because I don't want a massive load of protection. You don't want a load of rubber at the front of the shoe. There's just enough that if you kick that odd rock, it's not going to cause them.
So around the heel and around the front, it's a bit more beefed up. But then as I kind of move my fingers around this, I can see.
Can you see how I'm slightly nervous about how thin that upper is?
But that really does help with breathability too. So
that really helps. And then the movement and the swelling of the foot. We can't have it all, Gary. We're setting high standards as well. What would you choose to use this shoe for?
As it stands, it's 100% made it into my roster of shoes. It is my kind of go-to out of the door, half a dozen miles on local trails. I said it wouldn't be a race day shoe just because I always love the carbon plated shoes. But if you don't care about all the tech, then I don't really see why you wouldn't use this shoe for the Lakeland 100. You've got more cushioning than what you would get in your average shoe. You've got bigger lugs, so you've got more grip potentially on a much wider range of surfaces. Personally, for me, it's a real all-rounder shoe. I just get seduced by all the carbon plates, so maybe not a race day shoe. I'd have no problem going out and doing 20 miles in this on the weekend. All kinds of trails. Super happy with it. Really, really impressed for its first iteration of a trail shoe.
I echo all your thoughts exactly. I do like a trainer with a little bit more pop, but then I think you want the pop back. Would this be perhaps the shoe that you actually might like for a long day with mates? That you're not you don't need to worry about. What you actually want is not to fall over on your ass. I also think it's a really great mixed terrain shoe because it has got that cushioning. If you've got a 4-mile hard packed trail road section to then go up on a fell, you covering all your boxes, and that's such a hard shoe to find. I was kind of trying to think of a similar shoe, thinking if people were thinking, well, what the hell are they talking about? I would put it as a cross between a La Sportiva and a Salomon shoe, in that it's got that sort of Salomon-esque upper, but then it's got the grip of the La Sportiva, which is fantastic as well, but it's got a little bit more cushioning as well. I'm super excited to see where this brand goes. I see they do a road shoe. It would be really interesting to try compared to that as well. But if you're looking for a all-rounder, comfortable trail shoe, we've got nothing to say against it. What do you think about the price, Gary? To me, that's quite high. A carbon shoe is 200-ish, isn't it, at the moment?
North of 200 these days. I think you could be looking at 225 quid.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It depends which one. I think my North Face
£2.50, Bryn. They're £2.50.
But if you look at it, I don't know if these are direct comparison shoes, but you've got the Innovate Trailfly Max, which is I think about 150 quid, and the Ultra Olympus 275, that's 170 quid. So yeah, initially I think, well, that's quite a lot of money, but then when I compare it to the Formula One shoes, it's definitely not in that mark, and it does seem to be hovering around a couple of shoes that are maybe competitors in that space. Subjective, very subjective. I actually like how it looks.
It's the massive black sole that that is such a such a personal preference thing to me.
I love it. Do you like that?
You
I
love
don't
it?
like it.
No, I don't. I'm afraid I don't like it. And
Well, it looks cleaner for longer. That's my opinion on it.
is that okay? You can't see the dirt. I like an all white myself, but
Oh, filthy. That would look filthy first. But yeah, I'd quite happily wear this around the shops, if I've done a run and I'd be in a cafe afterwards. I know this is like trivial chat, but yeah, I think it's quite classy and understated design, that kind of grey and black colour wave that we've got. There is a few other designs out there floating around colour waves wide.
let us know if you try them out, if you have tried them out, what you think about them. We look forward to hearing what you say. Hope you've enjoyed our first ever shoe review.
And if you would like to try them out, the lovely people at Mountain Course have generated a discount code for Tea and Trails listeners. That will get you 10% off over at mountaincourse.com. I think that is the website URL. And all you need to do is type in Tea Trail. It's a capital T and then EA and a capital T again, RAIL. And that will generate a 10% off in your basket. Yeah. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Thanks, Harry Trail Running, for sponsoring our Strava Club and Tales from the Trail section. Harry is the UK's fastest growing brand for trail runners, providing specialist kit designed for superior fit, comfort and function with the best customer support. Check them out for race vests, waterproofs, poles and other trail essentials at www.harryrunfree.co.uk, where you can also download your free copy of How to Run an Ultra Guide. Use the code T10 for 10% off site-wide, or check out the brilliant trail bundles for a special 20% off. Harry's summer clearance sale is now on. Great offers on waterproofs, hydration and other best sellers. Also this weekend, yes, so if you're listening to this podcast on Tuesday, you are too late, but the 23rd and the 25th of August sees Harry's August bank holiday sale with special offers and free shipping. Yeah, that is this weekend. First up on the Strava Club is John Keat, 69.7 miles for the week, longest run of 18.7 miles and total elevation of 20,295 feet. Some gorgeous dawn walks and stunning Welsh trails, yeah, and super impressive. Over 20,000 feet of vert. Well done, John. Dave Bennett's up next, 82.5 miles for the week with the longest run of 67.8 miles, total elevation of 8,717 feet. He did a Centurion Winter Downs 200 recce, so he's done 67 miles of it in one run. Excellent.
Good job, Dave.
Lovely pics, and yeah, smashed the trail snacks too. And I think with winter races, it's really good to do summer recce's, because in the winter there's going to be lots of it.
Even more sad when you're in the winter. And you go,
well, you're not going to see loads of it, are you, in the winter? So it's great to see how gorgeous those trails are in the summer. Last up, and this is total serendipity because Harrier sponsor our Strava Club. Harrier athlete Sana Duthie, 61.7 miles for the week with the longest run of 17 miles and total elevation of 7,946 feet. Sana is a force of nature. She's just smashed the FKT and back at it. Looks like she had a great time in the Lake District too. So yeah, that would have been some new trails for Sana. Hope you enjoyed the lakes. And I saw in a social media post, she's raised over £2,700 for the Pembrokeshire Coast Charitable Trust. That is awesome. Well done, Sana. Punk Panther race results: Richie Williamson, new course record, and Lynn Murphy, new course record too. That was on the 50 miler over the weekend, and the 30 miler winners were Morgan Glazier, another course record, and Nicola Wright. Wow, everyone was
Has someone been out
it.
packing those Punk Panther trails? You've been out clearing the vegetation off the side and making them just like double step, getting rid of all the holes.
We've got another birthday shout out. Happy belated birthday, Ellis McCoy. And if you're thinking that name is familiar, back in July, Ellis won the Lakeland Trails 100k. Happy birthday and a heavy flex. Heavy flex to my new friend Naomi Lunn, who finished her first 100 miler at the Run Walk Crawl Dragon 100 Ultra in tough conditions. Well, it's a few weeks ago now. Proudly repping her tea and trail snood as the rain came pelting down for maybe the 20th time. That came in from Stuart Secker. Thanks for sending that in, Stuart. And well done, Naomi. And Naomi is crushing recovery. We're Facebook friends. So I've seen Naomi on a lovely summer holiday, soaking up the sun. If you have a mate who's flexed or orbited the sun one more time, then email hello@teaandtrails.com. You need to put heavy flex or birthday shout out as the subject, or we might miss it. Tales from the trails.
Still buzzing from an amazing day on the Fells yesterday. For me, this was a race day with a difference. Training for the inaugural Actian Trails Ultra 50k race had been going brilliantly, but a month ago, injury struck. It struck my fibula and my ankle ballooned. It took me a week of hobbling about on an inflexible ankle the size of a thigh, oh gosh, plus an x-ray before finally accepting that for me, the race was off. Frustrated and disappointed, I visited Jacob, our friend, started rehab protocols and stuck with easy walking, accompanied by my favourite podcast, of course. The ankle began to improve, but every day from Fawnside I gazed forlornly at the race route over Blencathra and Skidder. Then it dawned on me. There was still a way to be part of the race. I contacted the race organisers at Ria and offered to be a course volunteer. Receiving confirmation that I was on the event team lifted my spirits. I read the events briefing as studiously as I've ever read a mandatory kit list. I would definitely, if I was a volunteer, read that so well compared to when I scan over the mandatories and be like, I don't want to do anyone. I don't want to send anybody the wrong way. Marshalling was brilliant. Cheering every single runner past us in the Glendoterra Vale was a joy. I got a great dose of trail camaraderie. My marshalling partner was great company, with plenty of fell stories to tell in between runners. And there was the exhilaration of being in a wild and beautiful place with a little wild lakeland weather for good measure. Later, whilst marshalling the road entrance near the finish, I had lots of lovely conversations with supporters as they waited for their heroes to emerge from the fells, and even got time to spend with Paul at Summit Ultra Coaching, who was also injured. Gary and Eddie even made time to stop for a chat. I think we were waiting for you to get yourself out of a bog at that point. It was lovely to see Paul and Joanna at that road point as well. I finished marshalling just in time to enjoy the evening entertainment, a podcast recording with some inspiring runners, much hilarity and wonderful words from Lawrence, aka the Running Rev. In fact, I was so immersed in every moment of the day, I didn't take a single photo. Thanks, Gary and Eddie, for inspiring so many people and for hosting this amazing event. Oh, thank you so much for volunteering, and it was great to see you out.
Thanks, Joanna.
You had a great spot as well. 2 pivotal points of the course, lots of cheering. And yeah, if you are injured or you can't do a run, or you enter a race or find yourself at a bit of spare time, there is nothing more rewarding. I love a bit of cheering.
And you know you've had a good day when you've not taken a picture all day.
Yeah, brilliant. I mentioned at the start of the podcast that I had lots of messages, and a couple of them I thought I'd pull out. I won't mention any names, but I thought they rang true with me, and also that they might help other people. One of them I loved was, my husband and I have a motto, live to fight another day, no matter what. I kind of liked that as well, that I
thought that was you and Bryn have that motto.
We didn't, but perhaps we need to sketch it in. We do now. We are more aware. I think like when we used to do ski stuff and things, or we would both be up the mountains at the same time, a bit sketchy, and we'd be like, Is this good? This both us being here. I think it's a really live to fight another day, no matter what. And then some lovely kind words. I think you'll all guess who this is from, because he's the man of many kind words. I know pulling out for race across Scotland early will feel heavy right now. You put so much of yourself into the preparation for events, and it's only natural to feel disappointment. But we want you to know this, and this is good. This is for anybody who's felt disappointment about anything in life. I think your worth, your impact, and the admiration so many of us have for you are completely untouched by any result or finish line. You are seen for your passion, your kindness, your authenticity, and the way you bring people together. That is far rarer and more enduring gift than any medal. And remember, authentic vulnerability is where the deepest, most sustaining, life-giving connections are formed. By letting others see the real journey, you invite them into a space where we can all breathe easier, knowing we're not alone in our struggles. And I think if Race Across Scotland has taught me anything, and from our initial listener feedback, is that people not feeling alone in making hard decisions, being disappointed, turning up, not achieving goals, and putting their hands up and going, that's okay, I live to fight another day. And I think the biggest thing as well is enjoying the process. I think, like we always say, you've got to enjoy the training process, so that if the outcome isn't what you expected it to be, when you look back, and I'm sort of getting to that point now, when you look back and you go, but it was so fun. It was so fun, all those training runs as well. Thank you again for all the messages. Keep them coming, please. Thank you to Protein Rebel for bringing us home, gentle on your stomach, driving your performance. Whether you're trying to get a PB, training for your first marathon, or completing a 10th ultra, Protein Rebel... I applied straight into my mouth. Whether you're trying to get a PB, training for your first marathon, or completing your 10th ultra, Protein Rebel products are easy to digest with no artificial additives, providing both performance and overall health benefits.
We forgot to mention Phoenix Lights during our upcoming Charlotte Fisher interview, and we also forgot to mention that Charlotte is a Protein Rebel
#pro.
ambassador.
Just send us all your ambassadors. We're so good at this.
We need an editor.
What would an editor have done with us? Well, just like...
Well, I hear it sometimes on podcasts. Every now and again, the producer interjects.
Would love to have a young... You'd like a young Swedish.
Very amateur of us.
Got some questions, Gary. You ready for this? This is a question. Emma Walters. Well, she sent this in before the Teen Trails Ultra. You can tell it's been summer holidays. We're a little behind everything. But I spent a long time on the finish line with Emma clapping in. She was the best giver out of mugger at the end of our race. Hi, Eddie and Gary. Question for you both. Which non-running related Olympic sport would you want to compete in? I can see Eddie with a gun in hand and Gary pole vaulting. This is a joke.
It was great to see you, Emma. I think anything for me personally that you see these sports, it could be like shot put, javelin, discus. There's a massive scream at the end of it. The veins are like popping out their necks.
There's a lot of drug staking. This is yours. Do you know what, Gary? There's a little bit of a problem with this. If I put you next to like those big Russian discus throwers.
What about a powerlifter? They're little dudes.
Oh, okay. And you look great in red shorts.
Yes, that's established already.
Okay, so we pretty much tick the boxes.
I'm so reserved in normal life. I'd love an outlet where I could just be like...
When did you last go to the gym? Because this is another problem that how's your clean and jerk?
I'm back on the gym. Yeah, I'm back.
I'm back in the gym. That's fine.
I'm avoiding the... I don't know. I know I should do deadlifts, but I don't like the deadlifts, so I don't do the deadlifts anymore.
I love a deadlift. You can get right
like
old grunt on the deadlift.
I need a cheat. I need one of those cheap trap bars where you basically...
There's nothing cheating about them. You're not even doing it. That's cheating. Your hamstrings. That's what it is. Your posterior chain.
I'll do something else instead. I'll do glute bridges instead.
Glute bridges. Come on, get those weights better.
But I was so rubbish as a child when with athletics time, javelin, discus, all that kind of stuff. No technique, and I was super, super small and skinny.
I've changed what I would want to be, Gary. I've changed it to what I initially thought. Do you know what I'd love to be? Is a heptathlete. That's what Jessica Ennis-Hill used to do and Katrina.
Yeah.
Mainly because their abs are incredible. I still think I could do that, Gary. It's a power event, but you've got to have the endurance. You were out there all the time, 2 days of the overarm clapping. Let's do this. So if I can't do that, if they don't want to see a 45 mum of 3 in the Lycra, I'd probably go for an even worse one, which would be the synchronized swimming.
Who wouldn't, Teddy? Who wouldn't want to see that?
Synchronized swimming, because I think that is
that chlorine would destroy me.
But the hair, I want to do. Have you ever seen?
Incredible.
They slick back the hair and then they have to like chip it off afterwards because it's like some sort of like water thing. I don't think I could do the upside down twiddly legs. They are so fit as well, Gary. Holding their breath for like 2 minutes at the same time as creating lactate.
Do blokes do that sport too?
Don't know. I just want to do the bit where they stand on the edge of the pool and then they dive in and then I just get out. It's done, guys.
Where do you stand on sports where it's like golf, tennis, football? They're not your traditional Olympic sports.
As a family, we don't invest in those. Rory won't even watch them. Rory will watch anything on Sky Sports 1, 2, 3, 4. He will be like, it's not proper games. No, I'll watch anything. I'd watch anything. Let's face it. If I get a GB tracksuit, I'll just hold your laundry basket and just put your pants in it.
I'm going to do clean and jerk when I go to the gym next with about 5 kgs.
Just do the bar. Just try with the bar. It's hard enough.
Screaming at everybody. There's a big mirror. There's a
drop it down. But it's just the bar, so it really crashes.
Next Instagram story. How's your week looking? What you got coming up?
Oh, God, it's such a good week. It is just going to be big sessions after big sessions. What I've done is I've written myself my own little training plan. So then it goes on my watch. So I just feel, even though I'm not achieving anything, I just feel that I am mentally so I've just done I've even put like my 45-minute runs to a heart rate. So I just feel like I'm not just going out and floundering. I'm like, to have a little bit of purpose in your running. Yeah, it just makes me feel more like an athlete rather than like last week I just felt totally lost because I was like, I'm not really running. What am I going to do? And then I just lose my mojo and just get that synchronized swimming going. I wrote myself a little plan this week. Of course, then I go and have to change it all because it never goes to plan. But at least there's the thought goes into it and I sort of see where do I want to be by the end of the week, etc., etc. Kids going back to school, Gary, at last.
Sad times.
sad time. It is a sad time. I love them being at home. And as they're getting older, the summers are ticking when I'll be able to get the slip and slide out and spray them with the hose, and they'll think that that is the best afternoon entertainment. I asked them what their favourite bit of the holidays was, Gary. We've done all sorts. We've been as you know, we've been on the tour.
Yeah.
We've done all sorts. And they said the highlight was when we got chips from the Lake District chip shop and we sat on the sofa that smelt of cigarette smoke and ate them with ketchup. That was the highlight of the holidays. Plus playing golf with their granddad. I was like, that's a good memory. Let's not relive the brown velour sofas. That's precious. We've had a precious summer. It's been great. But yeah, we're all ready. We're ready for them to go back. Because I tell you what drives me to distraction is putting the glasses in the dishwasher. Who drank out this glass? Is it too much? Is it too much to ask you to put it in the dishwasher? Can we not use the same glass a couple of times? What are you? So how long are we out from Seven Valleys now? 6 weeks?
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
6. I think it might be 5 weeks. And they're like literally, I think, all sold out. Maybe there's some places left in the 5 valleys. Yeah, fantastic to see that. Going to be loads of people on the trails. And I'm going to be volunteering. Did I mention this the other week? I'm going to be on registration.
Oh, you had an email to say there's no volunteer car park. Sorry, I deleted it by accident.
I wanted a special place. Teen Trails podcast. But it's week 3 on the Alban app and it's going well. I like the fact so Lisa's asked to do a love run today.
Do they have that? Henrietta and John, they would not be doing a love run. No.
So I've had to shuffle. I've had to move a few things around, which, it did trigger me a bit because I knew she was fishing with the conversation. Oh, what are you doing when you're going to run today? What's your plans? And I'm like, on my run, it's about just over an hour of steady running. I'm like, well, that's not what Lisa wants to do.
That's not the vibe I'm looking for right now.
But there's a price to pay for that because they've got 2 long runs and there was supposed to be a recovery run, say long run Friday, long run Sunday, and a recovery run in the middle. Now I've moved the recovery run to today, so I'm going to have back-to-back long runs.
This is why I don't like apps as well, because you could just change and not do 2 long runs back-to-back.
Well, I'll take some ownership of it, see how I feel during the
okay.
week.
Take ownership of it. Yep.
Home alone with with Rex for a couple of days. Lisa and George are taking Esme back to university in Edinburgh. Yeah, sad times. It is big time sad times. We've been spoilt. We've had some lovely memories on holiday and Esme's been around for it could be like 4 months. They have such a long time off when they go to uni, and I'm not a clingy parent, but that last cuddle is tough. I think I might have had something in my eye.
Oh, it's rubbish, isn't it? Like you sort of like want them to go to fly the nest, but you want to keep them in as well.
I'm going to say, so she's home alone at the moment up in Edinburgh. And
is Dad going to come a knocking? What you doing?
Well, we've said
if she wants is you hanging around.
If it's freaking out a bit, she can come back. She can come back home for a few weeks until her mates turn up. But I'm going to a gig in Scotland. This is not until October. So we bought these tickets. I was a bit drunk and Esme knows I like this band and she likes this band. So we're going to go to Dundee in October to see this band called The Last Dinner Party.
Dundee?
Yeah, I know. So it's quite a big journey for me. It's like Edinburgh, then Edinburgh to Dundee. I think I'm going to be the oldest person in the room because if they're Esme's demographic, they're definitely not a middle-aged man's
You just get your child's trousers on.
But what's triggered me? Things that freak me out in life. One is an event and a Q&A. Closely followed by that might be a gig in a record shop because you are like literally there with the band. And this is a gig in a record shop in Dundee to align with the launch of their album. Yeah, they're going to be touching distance and I'm going to be probably about 20 years older than everybody.
Yeah, they're going to look at you and be like, just keep your eyes on him. Hands on the ball, hands on the ball.
Hands on the ball. I'll keep you posted how it goes.
Look forward to hearing about that. Thanks for tuning in. We love you for listening. Share the episode, share the pod, share the love. If you're from Alberta, Chiang Mai or Tadworth, get to work. You know what you need to do. Pop over to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, subscribe, or even consider becoming one of our patrons. Thanks to X Miles Precision Hydration, Phoenix Light UK, Harrier Trail Running, Protein Rebel for sponsoring our show. Here's your discount codes: T10 2025 for Shocks, T15 for Protein Rebel, T Time 2025 for Precision Hydration, and T10 for Harrier Trail Running. Thank you so much to our partners, patrons. We couldn't do this without you and your ongoing support.
Good luck to everybody out on the trails, racing, training, recce's or solo miles, or miles with mates. Another busy weekend of racing. Let the trail rise to meet you and the wind always be on your back. Be kind to future self, breathe and believe, roll with the joy, and the miles will look after themselves. My name is Gary Thwaites.
And I'm Eddie Sutton.
And that was the Tea and Trails podcast.